Good morning, students of class 9. You're welcome back to the classes now. We are doing economics. We are doing people as resource. So in our previous class, we have learnt about uh, human capital, about capital formation, education and skill and training are the factors that will help a person to earn more, and they are better off than those people who are uneducated. So there are various kind of activities people do. So all are economic activities. Certain activities we do for the welfare of the people, they are called social activities. And some activities we do for ourselves to consume the goods and services for ourselves, that is called personal. So it does not count in the economic activities. So now here, so we are going to the second subtitle, economic activities by men and women. Let's see where people are engaged, what type of work they do, where they do the work. So let's go through this one by one. And today's date is 26th of May 2021. So now here, number one, listen carefully and pay attention. People have been engaged in various activities from ancient periods. People started working in order to earn money, in order to lead a better life. So people are engaged in various activities. And these activities have been classified into three categories or three groups or three sectors. What are those three sectors? You know it very well. That's primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. So such as primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. So we have already learned about primary sector and secondary and tertiary sector. Let's go through them again once more. Primary sector includes agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, mining, etc. So these kind of activities are all comes under, they come under primary sector. So primary sector is closely associated with natural resources. So now you can see there, number two, secondary sector. Secondary sector is also called manufacturing sector. So secondary sector include manufacturing of all kinds of goods that we use in our everyday life. So secondary sector comes under manufacturing. So and millions of people, they work in this sector, whether in the private sector or in the public sector, but they manufacture goods, various goods of our daily needs. So these activities come under secondary sector. Now we will talk about tertiary sector. Tertiary sector include trade, transport, banking, communication, education, health, tourism and all kinds of services. So they come under tertiary sector. That's why tertiary sector is also called a service sector or supportive sector. So tertiary sector is also called a service sector because it supports primary and secondary sectors. So primary sector and secondary sector, they require support to transport goods. They require funds. So bank is also required. So tertiary sector is a supportive sector. It supports primary and secondary sector. It's very simple. Now all these activities, people, millions and millions of people work in various sectors, earn their living, and these activities are also called economic activities. And activities that that will bring income or that will bring payment, these kind of activities are called economic activities. You can see due to historical and cultural reasons. So there are many reasons, historically and culturally. There is a division of labor between men and women. Historically, let's go through a little bit. Historically, in ancient periods, women, they were not allowed to go out of their homes. They had to work inside the house. They have to look after the domestic chorus or domestic work, and men used to go outside and in the field and they used to work, or sometimes out from their villages in order to earn money. That's a historical reason. Historical and cultural reason, because there is also cultural reason. In many cultures, people are the women are not allowed to go outside, and they are not allowed to go outside and earn money, or even they are not allowed to go just outside their homes. So that is culturally, historically and culturally also, there is a division of labor between men and women in the family. Many of the family, they will not allow the women to go outside and work, even though they have their education or their training or whatever it is, whatever they acquire qualities, they were not allowed to go out. Why? Because they thought that it is a prestige factor. So people, their way of thinking is very different, and due to culture also, due to historical reasons also, many of the women, they were not allowed to go outside and work. So even if they go outside to work, they are paid very low compared to men, because they thought that the women are weak, they have very low education, that's why they were not paid equally. So women generally look after home. Generally women look after home, domestic work, cooking, cleaning, looking after the children and all these things. So women generally look after home, and men generally go outside and work and earn money for the family. So, but anyway, let's see, education and skill are the major factors or determiners or determinants of the earning capacity of a person. So the earning capacity of a person depends upon the education and their training and the knowledge and experience. So many of the women, those who go outside and work, most of them, they are paid low. Why? Because many of them, they do not have sufficient education, or they lack trainings. That's why they are paid low. Even in the society, it is a tradition, or it is a way of thinking that women are generally weak. That's why they are paid low. So there are various reasons for paying them very low, or there is a division of labor, as well as those women who have got higher education, better training and skills, they are much better. They are better off than those women who are less educated. So even men, you can see that men who are educated, having training, having knowledge and experience, they are paid higher than those people who are less educated or who are illiterate. So you can see that there is a division of work, as well as there is a division of payment. So it depends. So now for that reason, the quality of population we'll talk about in our next class. So quality of population, how can we develop the quality among the people? So by providing education, by providing training, skill development programs, due to those programs, and experience and all these things. So next video we'll talk about the quality of people or quality of population. So that's all for today. So you go through this properly, don't miss the online classes, as well as you read the book. Reading is required every day. I'm telling you, your reading is not good. You need to practice reading. So that's all for today. Stay safe, as well as continue studying at home. Don't waste your time. So we'll meet in the next class and talk about quality of population in economics. That's we are doing people as resource. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for your watching.